I drove for Uber during the Super Bowl to see how much money I could make if I worked a 12-hour shift. And the results will definitely surprise you.
How old are you, by the way?
17.
17. I have figured out a problem I didn't even know existed. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. My name's Key, and if you're brand new, pronounce Key in. And we're doing something massive today. We are doing a 12-hour Uber shift today. At least 12 hours. Because we are driving on Super Bowl Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. We have a huge shift ahead of us, and we also have a huge line here for some reason. Was in a little bit of a rush because we are actually starting with this $29 Premier ride. So we're actually starting already with this. It is 12:57 p.m. on Sunday, February 11th, which is Super Bowl Sunday. And let me know in the comments below if you're a football fan. What team are you cheering for the Super Bowl? I would love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. I have had an absolutely horrendous weekend when it comes to Uber because I've just not been able to make money. It was so slow. So slow. So with all that said and done, I'm going to stop talking and we're going to get driving.
But even on my first ride of the challenge, I was met with a pretty big issue. You see, when I was going to pick up the driver, I went to the pickup location that the driver said, because that's how Uber works. It seems that this driver didn't get that memo because where he actually was at a hospital 15 minutes away from the pickup location that he set on the app himself. So, I think you know where this is going.
I'm not going to get any younger here. All right, we canceled. No idea how much I'm going to get for that cancellation. Probably the full amount. I hope the full amount. If I don't get the full amount, I'll be really sad. Nope, I got $15. God fuck. Alright, everyone, we're about to start the challenge, but before we do, I'm going to chop down some of my Burger King and get this energy drink in me. I'm probably going to need another one of these tonight. But before we go any further, let's talk about goals for the night. My baseline absolute minimum goal that I have for tonight is $200. Now, mind you, that is less than $20 an hour, assuming we work every hour from now until 3 a.m. I've already gotten $15 from that previous cancellation, and we're starting at 3:30 to kind of match with the 30 minutes that I've already worked. So, from 3:30 till 3 a.m. with 30 minutes already worked, that's still 12 hours. The baseline goal is $200. My actual goal is $300. That's the amount of money I actually want to achieve for this challenge to be satisfied with my week. And ideally, if I can absolutely pop off tonight, and that's the hope and prayer that we get some really good surge over the night, I'm shooting for $400. Now, that will definitely be the hardest of the goals because $400, 12 hours, I can't math. But $300 is $25 an hour. $200 in 12 hours is like less than $20 an hour. So I assume $400 in 12 hours is probably closer to $30 an hour, if not over $30 an hour. But time will tell, and I have a very different mindset going into this challenge. So I am not still taking every single ride. I have been recently, but what I'm doing now is I'm actually implementing the Tip You in the App strategy from Levi over at Tip You in the App, where I am taking every ride under 20 minutes. For UberX specifically. So UberX, Uber Comfort, and UberX Share, I will take every ride under 20 minutes. And everything Comfort Electric and Premier, I'm taking everything still. So if it's over 20 minutes for UberX and UberX Share, it's up to me as to whether or not it's worth it metric-wise. Probably won't be, so I'll probably decline it. But that is my metrics from now, here until 3 a.m. for this challenge. And I will definitely get pickier as the night goes on. Who knows? I'm really excited. I really need this money right now. This is part of the end of January, early February before tax season slowdown. So like, I'm really broke. I would really like this money, and I would really like this to work. So without further ado, let's get started. But yeah, let me know in the comments below, who are you guys rooting for the Super Bowl? Obviously, this video is going up after the Super Bowl, so let me know who you were rooting for and if they won, and if there are any players or standouts. Me personally, I am rooting against the dude that is engaged, dating Taylor Swift. Not because I have anything against him personally. I do have a lot against Taylor Swift because apparently she's like incredibly bad for the climate with all of her very expensive 20-mile luxury flights that's increasing carbon emissions. But I don't know all about that. I'm not trying to put any bad juju on anyone else. Who cares? So Uber actually sent me a notification a few days as well to look for a potential increase in trips to start around 4 to 6 p.m. So I started 20 minutes ago, and it's about to hit 4 p.m. So the increase in potential trips should start any minute now. I've been on for 22 minutes. Haven't gotten a single offer yet. Not a trip radar, nothing. Okay, it has been an hour now. Yeah, about an hour. Still nothing. Literally, I have UberX on. I've had UberX on this entire time. I actually had 250 surge, and I went offline and went back online just to make sure, and lost that surge just to make sure that it wasn't like a refresh thing, like there was a bug or anything. But yeah, still nothing. My internet's fine. I know it's not an internet thing. Alrighty, after an hour of waiting, we finally got a ride. It's a comfort ride. I think it's like 10 minutes. I'm gonna let this guy know I'm on my way. Let's get our first ride of the night finally started. Hey, good afternoon. Got the door for you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. It sounds good, and I'll get your door for you.
Good night.
You as well. That is the best quality I have ever given to a passenger, and I feel amazing.
I'm not going to spend this entire video showing you every single ride I took and drove because we would be here all day, as like I was over the night for the Super Bowl. But I will highlight some outliers. Like this next clip I'm about to show, and piece of advice, I should have taken this advice myself because I know this, I've experienced this. Avoid ShopRite rides at all costs, because I swear to God, every single time I've taken a ShopRite ride or picking up at the ShopRite store, it's a person with 2 carts full of groceries, and they're always like the heaviest groceries and the most inconvenient ones to put in my trunk.
No, you're sharing the chips.
Oh, and chips.
Oh, that woman smelled. Oh my God. That is, without a shadow of a doubt in my mind, the smelliest passenger I have ever had. Respectfully, I hate to sound like an asshole for that. For $6, all of those groceries, the manual service, I would say 5-star service in my opinion, for $6.
Or this passenger who was just super lovely and a huge burst of energy.
It's a normal trunk. That's the one thing about this car that's normal. That man was filled with such joy. I love him.
Or this passenger who unfortunately couldn't afford his original drop-off point in the Uber app, and I just dropped him off there anyways, and Uber actually rewarded me for it.
Wait, so the place I was going to drop you off, were you gonna walk all the way from there to here?
Yeah, but I still gotta walk like a little ways up toward up button way, that way.
Well, at the very least, I hope I've
Yeah.
walk.
I appreciate it.
No problem, man, and I'll also get your over. You know what's like that. That was an extra 2-minute commute, to give that guy a good ride. And I actually got paid more. Why did I get paid more? That was just a $9 ride. Did it really increase because of that? They increased that fare just because of the drop-off point being different. Well, that helps too. So you know what? That further away drop-off actually helped me out massively. So I got an extra, $3 there. And I feel terrible for that guy because he still has a bit of a commute, but that was a good man. I hope he's doing well.
And it wouldn't be Uber if there weren't parents trying to scapegoat the system to get their kids easier rides.
I do have to ask, how old are you, by the way?
17.
17. Started to ride. Okay. That is the second time in the last 3 days that I have driven an unaccompanied minor. Fucking ridiculous. Literally, I was seconds away from pressing the cancel button on him. I had swiped the start ride button too early, So I fucking missed my chance. And like, I can't even do anything about it because I took the ride. So I'm at fault. I can't report it to Uber. I can't report the account to Uber because I took the ride. They could deactivate me for that. I think at least. I mean, 17, does that even count? Like, I mean, he could have been lying too. Oh, that's so stressful. And that entire ride with the wait time, still only paid $10.
Unfortunately, despite the fact that I was at least getting rides at this point, it still wasn't enough to actually get me to my primary goals.
We are 4.5 hours into this challenge. We are currently not at $125 like I'd like to be, or somewhere around there. We're at $78.46. So, because I know it's gonna be really slow for the next while because the Super Bowl is currently happening, so a lot of people probably aren't driving right now and probably won't be for a little bit. I am going to take my 30-minute break or whatever to go get some food in me. I don't think I can get a car wash right now, unfortunately, because car wash that I would go to is closed. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna head over to Popeyes, grab myself some grub, and after that, we'll be right back on. And I might just stay on Premiere only if there's enough demand for it, and if not, probably throw Comfort Electric and maybe even UberX in there if it really still is just going to be slow all night. We'll see, but I have to go eat because your boy's starving. Alrighty, everyone, I'm officially back online. Just got my dinner sorted for the night. It was delicious. Shout out to Popeyes. That was scrumptious. All right, 6 minutes, 40 minutes, $5 for literally 6 minutes of driving. See, now we're talking. That's what I like to see.
I have the child lock on because people scratch at the door handle.
No worries, you're so kind.
No problem. You enjoy the rest of your night, man. Oh, that guy was so friendly for a $6, or sorry, not a $6, for a 6-minute ride. That was probably one of the most peaceful rides I've ever had. And that guy tipped me $5 as well. Hell yeah. So what, that was like a $10 ride for literally 6 minutes of driving and an awesome passenger. And just as I had gotten my hopes up, they immediately got shattered. Oh, baby, finally. It's a far ride, but I don't care. We just got a Comfort Electric ride. I think that was $25 for like 35 minutes, and the rider just canceled. Literally, as I'm getting excited for it, the rider cancels within 10 seconds. 10 seconds of me getting the ride. That's been my night so far, in case any of you are curious. All right, y'all, I am picking up my next ride right now, but I have news, I guess, for any of my Super Bowl enjoyers, which you'll probably already know by the time this is posted. Chiefs won. I guess they did a thing in overtime, and they win immediately. Yay. I don't care. Oh, would you look at that? My first premiere ride of the night, ladies and gentlemen. Second the Super Bowl ends, I'm getting premiere rides. All right, it was like $11 ride. Should be really short and easy. Finally, we got a premiere ride tonight. Hopefully this person doesn't cancel because we need to stack these premiere rides as often as we can. So let's get it done. And just as I predicted, that ride was great, but just as I predicted, the surge is here. I think we're probably actually just gonna call it straight up on UberX, and we're just gonna stick with Comfort Electric and Premiere from the rest of the night from here on out because the surge is a surgeon. And this, ladies and gentlemen, would end up being a colossal mistake. We're currently sitting at $173.54, so $175, 7.5 hours. So we're still about 30 minutes behind pace of where I'd like to be, at least $25 an hour, but that's okay. I think we have some space to catch up, especially for the rest of the night. And actually, this is pretty good. Like, the slow times should be over for at least a little bit now. And I actually just gave my business card to them, so I'm gonna stay right here. Alrighty, guys, quick update. It's about 8 minutes to midnight, and we are just shy of our goal, $196.17 as of right now. But yeah, at the very least, we're at $25 an hour pace for the last 8 hours, which is shocking because remember, my first hour, I didn't make anything for my first actual hour being here. So it's midnight right now. Well, 7 minutes to midnight. So I am going to relax a little bit until Uber decides to give me something. If they decide to give me something, please give me something for the rest of the night, Uber. Good Lord. Hey, remember that clip of me like maybe 2 minutes ago saying that turning off UberX and just trying to do Uber Premiere for the rest of the night would be a huge mistake? Yeah, well, that's because from midnight to 12:45 a.m., I didn't get anything.
All right, y'all, I'm getting my car charged right now. It is 12:49, and I think I probably last recorded something about an hour ago, and which I'm sure you can all figure out what that means. Nothing. It has completely died. Flatlined, nothing. Not even gray clouds. Absolutely nothing. No surge, no gray clouds. It is like the earning trends where it has the dollar signs. We are at $1 sign. And from the looks of it, it's going to stay like that for the next hour or two, which means we have, at best, from 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. to make hopefully another $100. That was my, actual goal. I mean, I've got at least 200, so I have something. But I'm going to charge up, I'm going to head back to Wilmington, and I'm going to cross my goddamn fingers that we get something.
Oh, and it only got worse because I would inevitably come to learn of something that would have been very important to know for this challenge.
So I have figured out a problem I didn't even know existed. A lot of the bars are closed. Bars and pubs around, I guess, are already closed. I thought, for the sake of the Super Bowl, that they were all going to be open all night. I was very wrong. I'm questioning if I should even bother continuing this challenge. Because it is still dead. It likely will continue to still be dead. I might get a few, UberX offers, but probably nothing worth my time. It'll get me actually over the 200 mark, so I don't call this a complete failure. I don't think I'm getting any Premier rides unless I'm just throwing somebody to the airport. Again, I was only planning to be out until 3 a.m., and I'm actually proud of myself for, making it this long. I'm just disappointed that this last hour I have literally made $0. I've lost $7 in this last hour. Now, admittedly, for a good chunk of that time, I didn't have UberX on, mainly because, again, I thought I was going to get more Premier rides. I thought that one Premier ride I got, it was going to snowball. I was so ready for there to be more Premier and Comfort Electric rides to, be there, and there just aren't. I am stressed and impatient, and I really want something to work. Alrighty, after what must have been an hour and a half of waiting, I finally got a ride. $17 and some change for 26 minutes. It's not even that great. The dollars to mile ratio isn't that good. But oh my god, I'm so bored of just sitting in my car doing nothing but scrolling and looking at TikTok. And this gives me a chance to actually at least talk to someone. So I'm taking it. We're rolling with it. This is what we got. And I'm praying to the gods that, I didn't just give up a chance of a Premier ride for, this time.
And even after finally getting a semi-decent ride, I had to cancel the ride after waiting for 15 minutes for the passenger to just never show up. And then Uber did this.
$4? $4 fucking dollars for that ride? That was a $17 ride and they gave me $4 fucking dollars? Are we joking? Uber. Hello? I mean, I'm at 200 now. Yay, I guess. That was a $17 ride and you fuckers couldn't even give me half?
With that ride failure and the lack of rides even still, time was running out for me to hit that $300 primary goal. And hit that goal on a night where it should have been relatively easy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is 1:55 a.m., which means that we have an hour and 5 minutes left until we are at 3 a.m., which was initially my 12-hour benchmark. I am going to allow myself to continue working on if it makes sense. Meaning, well, one, I actually start making money. But moreover, if I get some good UberX rides, if it's surging again, if it is trending upwards, at the very least, I will continue to work until probably at most 4 a.m. It just depends. I'm not optimistic, especially considering how things have been going, but I have everything on still. I'm still sitting at exactly $200 for my cash out. So everybody, cross your fingers. Cross your fingers that we have a good finish to this. I'm thinking if we can hit 250 by the end of this, I'll call it a dub. 250, I'll call it a dub.
But $250 we would not hit, as I spent the entirety of 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. without a single offer.
All right, I'm calling it a night. It is 3:01 a.m. Absolutely jack nothing. So I'm calling it a night. I'm going home. I'm going to keep Premier and Comfort Electric on my way home. As the only chance where I actually take Premier/Comfort Electric ride. And even then, if it's not something I actually think is reasonable to take, I probably just am not going to take it anyways. Since midnight, I have taken, let's see, 3 rides, and one of them canceled. Since midnight. It is 3 a.m.
So yeah, I guess I technically didn't entirely fail because I set the base goal for $200 and I got there, but morally speaking, I definitely failed. I only made $210.77 and drove almost 100 miles. Mind you, those were the miles I tracked, so I definitely drove more. A mileage deduction of $63 and an hourly rate of, and I cannot believe I'm saying this, $18.75 per hour. Now look, those might not be the worst stats on their own. $18.75 an hour isn't amazing by any means, but on a regular day, that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. It's still money at the end of the day. But this is the Super Bowl we're talking about. This is Super Bowl Sunday. Now, I can't blame my lack of demand at the end of the night for my shortcomings, or at least all of my shortcomings. And in fact, I can actually think of 3 things specifically that I did wrong or that I made a mistake of in this challenge. Reason number 1 as to why I did so poorly is, simply put, I didn't drive the right hours. Looking back, I probably should have driven from 12 to 12, seeing as I already had some early demand with that Premier ride. That didn't really work out, and I still would have had the midday work to capitalize on before it just completely died at the end of the night by midnight when it actually died. And what adds into this mistake is that I was just unaware that the bars weren't going to stay open after midnight for the Super Bowl. Reason number 2 was that near the end, I got too picky at the worst time to get too picky. Right after that Premier ride I got with all of the surge around the area, I should have kept UberX on and taken the opportunity to use that UberX surge and abuse it as much as humanly possible, because that could have easily made me at least another extra $50 or $100 for that moment. But my brain was just too small, and I could only think about the big, massive Premier rides that I was going to get at 12 a.m. for some reason. And reason number 3 as to why I did so poorly was that I overstayed my welcome. I tied into this in reason number 1, but if I had just stopped at midnight, I would have, yes, stopped at just shy of $200, but that it would have also been at just about $25 an hour for the last 7-8 hours of work, whatever it was. So I would have still left with essentially the same amount I left with at 3 a.m. and I would have saved myself 3 hours of work. I would have saved myself the money I spent on charging, so I would have actually saved a little bit of money there too. And I guess most importantly in the moment, I would have saved myself some well-needed sleep. But I can't change the results, I can't change the history of how things happened, and I'm happy that these things happened still because I learned from them and I learned a lot of good lessons here. And I want to hear from you guys. How did your Super Bowl Sunday go? Did you do super well in your market? Did you flop like me? Let me know in the comments below, and obviously make sure you're subscribed to the channel and leave a thumbs up on this video. If you enjoyed it, become a member of the Cool Kids today. And if you want to see another challenge video that I made recently, check out the video over there where I took every single Uber ride that Uber gave to me for 48 hours straight. Because if you thought these results were surprising, those are a whole other level of surprising. And with all that said, I've got one more clip for you guys to wrap up this video, but that's going to be all from me. So stay cool.
Oh, I'm finally home. Oh, fuck this, man. Fuck Super Bowl. I'm so fucking tired. I'm so ready to go to sleep. Fuck everything.